Wait. Whoop.
To the Tommy Paris era.
Okay.
Favorite track, thoughts?
Some great stuff on Bite Down Hard, but I like Louder was cool. Black and White was fun because we all wrote that in a jam, like in a room together, and those are always cool when it's not a song that somebody brings in basically completed and I just kind of have to come up with something to fit that. That was kind of started with a drum beat and a riff, and I felt more, you know, I always liked those tunes more.
And the demos had Clint Eastwood on them, didn't they?
Yeah, we couldn't get the rights to that.
Really?
To use it on the record.
Was it money or was it just rights? He didn't want to give them up.
I don't know. It was probably from the you know, whatever Hollywood studio, you know, did the film. It was just, it would have been way too expensive for us to use that.
Okay, so Britny Fox winds down. You do a few more local bands.
Mm-hmm.
Worlds. What else? I don't know.
LeCompte,
there were a couple.
Yeah, a couple original projects.
Yeah. I remember LeCompte, doing LeCompte.
Yeah, LeCompte.
Okay, Doro comes into play. How does that happen? How do you wind up in Doro?
Well, I'll try to make this short because you got like 25 more questions left. Once again, Jimmy DeLella, but the real connection was Nick Douglas. Nick, our bass player, is from Blackwood, New Jersey area. He moved to Manhattan in like 1990. Doro lived in Manhattan, was looking for a band, held open auditions. Nick got the gig out of like 200 bass players and went to Germany to play with Doro. They opened for the Scorpions, did a couple, you know, did a round of touring. Then they came back, and at that point she didn't really have a solidified lineup. She was changing because she would take a year or two to do another record. She would, you know, everybody would kind of bail, and then she would come back and look for new players. So she really took a liking to American musicians, and she said to Nick, you know, I want to keep you on board, and let's go, you know, let's go do some demos and stuff. Nick said, I know a good studio in South Jersey, so they came down our way, and they did some demos, checked out some local players. They had a friend of ours, Mario Perillo, playing guitar on some stuff, and then they started putting a band together for the next tour because she made a record in North Jersey with Jack Pawnee, so they were looking for a band to do the dates in Germany. So Chris Branco joined the band, who was in Black Eyed Susan with Dean, and they auditioned for guitar players, and Joe Taylor ended up getting the gig. So they had that lineup, and they went to Germany. They did some TV shows, some small gigs, festival or two, and Chris apparently decided that he didn't like Germany, he didn't want to really stay there, do a long tour there, be away from home, whatever it was. And, you know, Jimmy DeLella was like, bing, I know the guy. He said to Doro, I know this dude, he's a good friend of mine, Johnny D from Britny Fox. And she was like, oh, I really like that song, Save the Week, right? She knew the band and the videos because Warlock and Britney were on, I think, Headbangers Ball around the same time. So she's like, yeah, let's check him out. So she flew all the way over here to play, and we got together at a studio, and we jammed for an afternoon, and she was into it. And then her Swiss manager was there, and the best line was, what is your real name? And I showed him my license, and it's Dee Teodoro, which is like really bizarre, and he goes, well, I guess we have to hire you since you have Doro in your name. And I was like, and that was just really bizarre, but I got the gig, and then that was '93, and I think a couple weeks later we were cutting a live album and a video on tour in Germany. So we had a couple weeks of like full production rehearsals, and then the whole thing fired up again, because between Britney and Doro was about a year of time where I just like could not find anything going on. And then so that was a godsend.
So, what was it like performing at Wacken? Could you even think with that sea of people in front of you?
It's funny how it's grown, you know. The first Wacken they did, right before I joined the band, they did, and apparently there was only like 1,000 or 2,000 people there. I mean, this, like, 93 was like the second year of the festival, or so the thing's been growing and growing, and you know, we played it like 6, 7 times already, and but the last years it's been selling out consistently. Before they even announce the bands, the festival sells out, so it's like people just go because they know how cool it is. But 90,000 last time we played, and just, you know.
So now, have you met all the past and former Doro and Warlock members at this point?
Not everybody. I mean, obviously, I'm real good friends with Tommy Henriksen, and I know Bobby Rondinelli quite well. And I met a couple of the Warlock guys because they've performed with us from time to time. Who else? Yeah, there's a few that just kind of, you know, vaporized, but...
Are you still doing your I Love It Loud drum solo?
Yeah, I'm not allowed to retire that. The boss loves it so much that I can't stop doing it.
And
Johnny,
are you pretty much still rocking the same drum equipment, or has that changed much?
I still, well, brand-wise, I play DW, I play Peisty. I used to play Sabian, like, for the longest time, but Peisty's been real good to me. I play Vader sticks forever, Evans drum heads, and I have a few kits that I use, and I haven't had anything really super new in that department, but I am getting ready to change up some stuff.
So now, what is your relationship like with Doro? Is she just a band member, a sister, a mother, or everything?
Not a mother, man. She's too cool to be. She's definitely like a sister, one of the guys sometimes. I mean, she's hardcore, man. She's the coolest chick. She's really down to earth. I mean...
and you're the tour manager too, right?
In America, yeah. I don't do it in Europe or Germany, but over here I just, because we're kind of more scaled down, and I feel
now
like
she spends quite a bit of time here.
Yeah, she has to.
How can she not get rid of the thickness in her accent?
I don't know. I mean, she, you know...
Do you understand her all the time?
I do. I don't think she, you know... I don't think she's hard to understand. She got a pretty good grasp of the language. She does have her accent still, which is, you know, that's just the way it is. But as far as, you know, she's got total grip on, like, her sense of humor's great. She's got, you know, she knows, and she literally did not even speak English the first time she came to New York.
And how's your German?
Scheisse. It's absolutely horrible, man.
What's life like in Germany? Because you guys will go there sometimes and tour for like what seems a really long period of time. I mean, is it everything from coffee houses to 90,000?
Well, weed's not legal there, so if you cross the border into the Netherlands, it's a little bit better for that. The beer's great, the people are cool, the history is amazing, the landscapes can be gorgeous.
You seem to have as many fans there as you did when Britny Fox was here. You were just you yourself.
Probably, because I mean, I've been doing more there for, I mean, this is like my 23rd year in the band this year.
Wow.
So...
Got to give a shout out to Erkan then, right?
Oh, the Erkan.
Erkan.
I love Germany. It has changed over the years I've been in the band, though. It's becoming more, you know, more like America every day.
I remember one of the first things you sent me was a postcard of sex shops, and you said, "Look, you'd fit right in."
Yeah, totally, dude. You could like live in Hamburg on the Reeperbahn.
So
easily.
now, round out the band for us quickly. Who else is in the band?
Well, we got Doro, of course. Nick Douglas on bass, Luca Princiata on guitar and keys, our Italian paisan, Bas Maz from the Netherlands on the other side of the stage, guitar.
He's got the name for the band, totally, the name for rock and roll.
Yeah, that's it on this run. We had Harrison Young playing keyboards with us, but he just joined Udo's band.
One less Mohawk in the band, right?
One less guy bumping into shit.
Now, now you guys got some U.S. dates lined up. You start like Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be great for you.
Yeah, I'm psyched. Really, I love, like, you know, I mean, it's cool to tour.
So how do you guys do with a run in the U.S.? Because, I mean, she really only had the one hit here.
Mm-hmm.
But the hardcore fans...
Yeah, people want to hear songs that I don't even know. I mean, they're calling out songs. I'm like, what the hell album is that on? Like, I'm not up on like every Warlock song, but sometimes, you know, it's cool to learn some old stuff, and you know, it depends. She's very into, you know, like what a fan polls or what everybody kind of wants to hear, but we do lean on a lot of heavier old stuff, you know. Okay,
you have two other bands you float around town. Freight Train Jane and You're in Excess cover band. Let me hear about them real quick.
Oh, well, it's not Freight Train Jane. It's Jane Train, who is a singer from Wilkes-Barre area, and we had a band called Headbangers Ball, which was like just a tribute band to all the hair bands, like you know, we played Dokken and Rat, Motley Crue, and Twisted Sister, and some Dio, and kick-ass band. It's just hard getting booked and hard to get, you know, get the right kind of money for something that, you know, because everybody's all over the place. So we did a few gigs with that, and I would love to do more, but there's nothing really happening at the moment.
So are you a big In Excess fan?
You know, I always liked them, but I never really... I do like them a lot more now, man. And it's a shame because I had to learn all these songs for this, the band Kick, which is an In Excess tribute.
And you play them and you go, oh yeah, they did that song.
Well, yeah, there's all the obvious stuff, but then there's all the, like, you know, the deeper tracks, deep cuts that are
and
like,
you're going to do that later this summer in New Hope, right?
Yeah, August 21st at Havana.
Cool, cool.
And I'll be doing...
And you are not, I repeat, not filling in on the Monsters of Rock cruise this year. They're not yanking you off the beach.
No, I can't, which is bumming me out because that's a great cruise. But I'll be with the competition over in Europe, floating around the Mediterranean, which doesn't sound like a bad thing either.
How many days is that for you?
That's a week, man, and free beer. Larry's got to get on the free beer soon.
That's a name that will not be spoken.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right.
All right. In closing, anything you want to say to our 30-year followers and your fans?
Well, thanks to you for doing it, man. Like, it's, you know, it's cool to see you doing it again, and just good memories of the old days, man. And those little hard and fast rags, you know, everywhere. But that was cool, man. That was good for the time, and you know, just keep.
And now I've been holding on to this for like 3 months for you. There is a Johnny D Christmas present here. There's only a couple people who know what this is. Michael Kelly Smith might be one of them.
Chumpy. Shall I open it?
Yeah, go ahead. We'll close on Johnny's Christmas present.
Whoa. Wow. Nice. A little Zep poster there. Thanks, buddy.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, keep rocking out there. Hard and fast, of course.
And we are out.
3.